Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday to you on this November 24th, 2025. I got all of your stories for your rush hour ride to work. It's Thanksgiving week, baby. There's never been a better time in the world to mail it in at work. So show up, give them 30%, and get ready for a crazy weekend arguing with your relatives about who causes tariffs. Oh my gosh, I can't imagine what's going to go down at the Thanksgiving table this week. But you know me, I'm a big gratitude guy, so I'll have a special Thanksgiving episode for you where I share all the things I'm grateful for, and I'll ask you guys to contribute to that as well. More on that later. So we'll have an update today on Ryan Reynolds, and I guess we have some comments from a member of the Wrexham community. That's a comedian, I guess, in England. I don't know what they have to say about Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively hiding out throughout this whole mess. And then an update to Celeste. That's the sad, tragic story of a girl that was found in the front trunk of a Tesla, which may be tied to a singer named David. So we'll get into that as they're finding out new information. Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's ready to quit. She's like, you know what? This politics stuff, I've had enough. So she's calling it quits January of 2026. And then we'll have updates on North Carolina, as ICE has been in a battle with the local residents, a battle for the fabric of humanity, not just in North Carolina, really all over the country. And then Trump comments on sedition. So we'll get into all these stories and more. It starts right now on The Rush. Boy, what a wild time to be alive. So I made a lot of content over the weekend. I had a special Candace Owens episode up. She tweeted some pretty crazy things saying she believes the French government put a hit on her. So if you didn't check out that episode, you got to go back to the weekend stuff because I can't quite cover it here. We will have updates when they come. I hope it's not true, but if it is, geez, be safe. Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds going on secret escapes as vicious battle with Justin Baldoni rages. So yeah, this is just a nothing burger article that came out over the weekend. Friends of Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively shared how they're handling Lively's ongoing legal battle. It's pretty easy to handle it when you've got hundreds of millions of dollars, you know? Us broke folks, how do we handle the battles? A little differently. You know, we don't get to just Postmates our problems away. Hey, but that's life. Ryan and Blake have obviously been slightly through the ringer over the last 18 months with all of that business and are still going through that in some ways. British comedian Humphrey Kerr, who's an exec on Reynolds' soccer team with Rob Mack, Wrexham AFC, told The Telegraph. It waxes and wanes in the public interest, but things still continue to rumble on in the background. He explained that the pair likes being in Wrexham because they can enjoy a relatively low profile there, which, by the way, I don't know if that's true. He's like this biggest celebrity of Wrexham. Although I do have to say, Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively living in New York City, that has to be the best place to be for anonymity. Now, by the way, if you want to see me in New York City, I'll be there in December. Go to the Rush Hour with Dave. Is it the Rush Hour or Rush Hour? Go to rushhourwithdave.com. That's my website. When you scroll to the bottom, you can see you can sign up, and I'll let you know where I'll be performing. I'll be at several different comedy clubs all over the country. So don't have too much to cover with Baldoni, but let's take a break from that for this morning. Although, look, this is, clearly this is all PR. This type of article is just PR. There's no substance to it. Sometimes these articles don't even matter. They just literally will, when there's a bad story that comes out, they'll just make a news story. That way it pushes down the bad story. It's just like adding more, dishes to the dishwasher. I don't know. Doesn't make sense to me. All right, Celeste Rivas. Body found in frozen state. She's the body that was found in the front trunk of a Tesla. The Tesla belonging to the singer David. The Tesla was like repossessed, and then they, sadly found a decomposing body. These frunks are not big. You can fit like 3 bags of groceries in them. She had been frozen. As a result, it looks like the LA County Medical Examiner will not be able to establish a cause of death. Sources directly connected to the investigation tell TMZ. I had no idea that a frozen body means you can't establish a cause of death. According to the sources, the medical examiner received the body in horrendous condition, decapitated, and while the torso was intact, the limbs had been removed and cut into multiple pieces. Again, sorry, folks, for the graphic description on a Monday morning episode, but this is just really sad. Now, the singer David has not been named as a suspect, but they say he's basically a suspect. Well, I don't know what that means. Either he's a suspect or not. So as of right now, we don't have any other information. Like how the hell her body was don't they have the forensics of the Teslas? Like someone had to open the frunk. Most frunks open by people's phones. You unlock your Tesla through your phone app. So like, can't they find out who was the last person to open the Tesla and put the body in? Geez, but either way, the fact that they haven't charged him with any crimes yet is just absolutely terrible. How about this Bachelor news? We got some drama. So Dale Moss posted this reel. He was with Kat Izzo from this past season of Paradise. It looks like that relationship has fallen by the wayside.
All right, this is a reminder that things can change in a year drastically. I was thinking today.
So he says things can change in a year drastically. What hasn't changed is he's ripped. What hasn't changed is he doesn't eat sugar. So if I made this video, there'd be a lot of change. It's called Dad Bod. Kat Izzo responds, ha 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 ha, rich coming from you. I'd love to have Kat on. Kat, I'm calling Kat Izzo out because I like you. This is a friendly call out. Come on the show. Let's talk about it, Kat. What are you hiding behind other than a contract with ABC? So who knows what happened? Breakup rumors have started. Kat has unfollowed him from Instagram. So again, does this matter in the greater world that we live in? No. But do we love to hear, who's at fault? Yes, absolutely. Well, this is a crazy story we're going to get to. Crazy. This is a story we knew, and yet to see it play out is wild. So on Twitter over the weekend, Elon Musk released, I guess, new software that allowed people to see where accounts originated from. And breaking news, I know this isn't surprising to anybody out there, but all of these pro-MAGA accounts seemingly come from outside the country. So here it is, accounts from Eastern Europe, Barra News, MAGA Army from South Asia, Fan Trump Army, South Asia, Elephant Signal, Europe, Victoria 2020, Africa, Macedonia, Trump headquarters, Hong Kong, White House, Levitt, Hong Kong. How the hell? And by the way, you should be upset about this, whether you're on the left or the right. The fact that astroturfing exists, fake grassroots movement, the fact that somebody in another country can create an account pretending to be an American and then infiltrate our either elections or our biases or our opinions, this is so wrong. We want to live in a democracy, right? You call it a republic, whatever the hell you want to call this. We live in a democracy where we vote for representatives and all of that jazz, right? Well, how can we live in a democracy when all of these accounts that are originating in different countries are messing with us? It's almost like if we were to have a town hall that was open to other countries and then they come in pretending to live in our neighborhood and they're just stinking up the whole system. So this is bad. MAGA News, South Asia, Caroline, 2000, Bangladesh. I mean, it's one after another. Eastern European. And my guess is after this new sort of app came out, Nigeria, Morocco, again, one after another. But after this account, after this sort of a way to see where people's accounts came from started, apparently they've shut this off now. And this is the issue I've got with social media. I don't think legally apps should be forced to verify people's identity, but I think we should have an option where, like, I only want to see content from people who I know who they are. That's it. I don't want anonymous people coming in where I can't tell where you're from. I got people in my own TikTok videos using ChatGPT to argue with each other. What are we doing in life, right? So yeah, you shouldn't be able to be Ivanka News with, eagles and American flags and then come out of Nigeria. Because we used to be keen to the scam, right? Oh, a Nigerian prince wants my money. Not this time. Fool me once, you get all my money. Fool me twice, it's a joke's on you, whatever, right? So it's like we need to be educated that this is happening. Did Russia interfere with the last election cycle or from 2 cycles ago? Yes. Did they care who won? I don't know. I don't know if they cared who won. They want us sow disinformation. They want us to hate each other. They are literally helping us rot from within. Are we going to get educated to stop this? The best thing you can do out there, do not argue with people online, especially if you don't know who they are. It's one thing if you want to go at it with a bunch of kids you went to high school with. If you don't know, our parents taught us this. Don't talk to strangers, right? They were onto something. Those lead poison boomers, they were onto something. Don't talk to strangers. Don't elevate strangers' content if you haven't verified them. Geez, I can't believe I have to take these measures to tell my audience, but here we are. Well, mass protests over the weekend in North Carolina. How about this? Check this out. This is democracy in action. down, down with deportation, up, up with libertation. Since ICE invaded Raleigh, North Carolina, walkouts and protests have broken out. More than 600 volunteers have signed up to help keep residents safe in the city. It was a busy weekend of citizens uniting, the community rallying against ICE for coming in and really shaking things up in their community. Charlotte, this story, locals go full throttle on ICE and with, real strong energy, forcing ICE back into the woods. I mean, who the hell are these people, right? So it's good to see citizens come out, get their cameras on, and make sure everyone's held accountable. But it's also super sad to think that there's going to be so much scar tissue from those after having to deal with this. Bus driver and parents help kids escape school bus during ICE raid panic in Charlotte, North Carolina. I mean, can you even imagine this happening? They're yelling, run into the house, run into the house. I mean, it's just, and it's wild, right? Because I feel so redundant. We've been talking about this all year long. None of what you're seeing is helping anybody live a better life. These aren't violent criminals. In some cases, these are people that have been, green card holders for 50 years, born in the United States. We even have had veterans of our own armies being deported to countries that they have never even been in before. How are we okay with this? A lot of people aren't. And we're actually covering this wild story here that Marjorie Taylor Greene over the weekend said, you know what, I'm out. I can't handle it. I'm not going to be a part of this divisiveness. Well, Jasmine Crockett had words of her own regarding the heat Marjorie Taylor Greene is facing.
Announcement from Congresswoman Greene. What went through your mind when you first heard she was going to resign on January 5th?
You know what? Honestly, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. You're on the other side of the president for 1 week and you can't take the heat. Imagine what it is to sit in my shoes, to not only be on the opposite side of him, but to have people like her who are constantly fanning the flames of hate.
It's true. And of course, Marjorie Taylor Greene has apologized for her part in fueling the violent rhetoric. But now she's like, you know what? I can't handle it. And it's like, yeah, no, sir. No, sir, you can't handle it. People have been dealing with this for a long time. AOC says this about Marjorie Taylor Greene retiring. She's carefully timing her departure just 1 to 2 days after her pension kicks in and after making millions of dollars insider trading stocks for weapons manufacturers and others while in office. She's saying a lot, but her actions have not backed up the rhetoric. For all her talk, she's still voting with them to gut healthcare and advance self-dealing corruption schemes. What I would love to see, because a lot of people think Marjorie Taylor Greene might be wanting to run for president. And what I would like to see is take the energy that everyone had for the Epstein files getting released, which again will be ongoing and we can walk and chew gum at the same time. Take that energy and use it to fight for Medicare for all. What about that? I mean, is there no better way to immediately try to save lives than to get all of our tax dollars going in the right direction, not bombing boats in the Caribbean Sea, not being spent on National Guard raking up leaves in Washington, D.C., or $50,000 ICE bonuses so that they can, have some LARPing exhibit in the woods of Raleigh. But how about all of our money we pay into? How about that goes to protecting us so that when we feel sick, we can actually go get checked out? That's a way to immediately do something to try to help the collective, conscience of our country, the collective heartbeat, because we are sick. And not just as a species, but as a country, Americans, we are sick. And this sickness is eating away at us because we are living on the fritz. We are all one broken ankle away from feeling bankrupt. After so many people worked really hard to just live a simple life where they can, go out to dinner and go see a movie and, buy the extra appetizers and tip the waitress 20%, and now we're living in a world where people are on the fritz. So you want to run for president, you want to do the right thing, you're disavowing your party. Let's all find one more thing to stand together on after the Epstein files, and that is universal health care. Here's AOC talking about Donald Trump and his mental state right now. Have a listen.
To be honest, the president's remarks indicate a level of instability. It's not just shocking, it's not just offensive, it's bizarre.
And again, what evidence do you want to pick? The evidence where he's calling people of his own party traitors that go against him, Marjorie Taylor Greene, which leads to death threats on her, saying that these folks are committing sedition. How about Donald Trump posting AI videos of him unleashing shit all over peaceful protesters? Like, what evidence do you need? Clearly, there's something very, very wrong.
It is erratic, it's volatile, and I think it indicates a mental state that we should all be questioning right now, whether that's emotional, mental, what have you. It is not normal to make these accusations. It is not normal to invoke these kinds of threats of violence. And it's also not normal to also dramatically misquote, as Carolyn Leavitt was doing, what these members of Congress said. They made a very clear message to U.S. service members, which is that you do not have to obey an illegal order. Yeah,
and so then they said, "Well, you're what you're telling people to do is to break the law. You're committing treason." They said all these things, and AOC's, it's all the proof is out there. We already shared it. They said, "No, if someone's asking you to do an unlawful order, you don't have to do it." Like, I don't know, bombing a boat in Venezuela or whatnot. Well, Trump has responded, and by retruthing this, none shall escape his justice. This was retruthed, a very Game of Thrones style reference. And they've got, members of the Democratic Party bending the knee to Trump, who's in some sort of, a weird ironclad outfit. Bizarre. Right? So then Trump said this: many great legal scholars agree that the Democrat traitors that told the military to disobey my orders as president have committed a crime of serious proportion. Here's what I don't get about Trump, Friday afternoon was wild. If you haven't already checked it out, go listen to the full press conference that Donald Trump did with Zohran Mamdani. Without budging 1 inch, Zohran Mamdani was able to disarm Trump. And they had a lot to agree on, which is that they both had some ideas, or they both had the intention of bringing New York back to its greatness, right? And Zohran obviously wants to do that as a democratic socialist and tax the ultra wealthy 2 extra percentage points. So if you make over $1 million, you pay an extra 2 percentage points into a city that has helped provide you that great wealth. And yet, you're like, people go, wow, Trump's actually seeing the light with Zohran. And then he goes back to this nonsense. And then Trump is saying this of Democrat leadership. Some people all that have served in the military, intelligence. He says the traitors that told the military to disobey my orders should be in jail right now, not roaming the fake news networks trying to explain that what they said was okay. It wasn't. It never will be. It was sedition at the highest level. And sedition is a major crime. There can be no other interpretation of what they said. Listen, if they had committed a crime, they would be charged with the crime by now. They obviously didn't, because they didn't commit sedition. Trump then says what he really wants to use to sort of, continue to erode trust in the system. He says we must focus all of our energy and might on election fraud. So again, what the hell does this have to do with anything? I have no idea. But Trump knows more than anybody that the upcoming election in 2026 could be a bloodbath, metaphorically, for the Republican Party. As we've noticed in the last couple of weeks, the polling in so many different places has gone from like plus 20 Republican to -6. I mean, swings that you don't see, from generation to generation, all have been done within 9 months. It's absolutely wild. Well, so much of what's going on, a lot of what you're seeing with the government is just laziness, right? When it came down to finding out who to pardon after January 6th, they just pardoned everybody because they didn't want to comb through the violent insurrectionists versus the moms and dads who just walked through the halls of the Capitol building, right? It's just laziness. Now, how about this? Trump's peace plan was written by Russia. Marco Rubio denies that the blueprint for Ukraine was translated into English, as critics say it reads like Putin's wish list. So the Trump administration put together this plan that was like a 23-point plan, whatever it was, that was for peace. But it really was all about Ukraine giving up ground and all of these things. It was in no way a deal that would make sense after several years of fighting and hundreds and thousands of lives lost and all of that. Well, they run it through ChatGPT and they realize actually this peace plan wasn't written by the Americans. It was actually written in Russian and translated. So it's almost as if we're just not doing any of the work and we're just doing Putin's bidding. I don't know. Is this what America wants? Is this America first? Honest questions to ask. And by the way, what I'm about to share with you is really hard to share. But AOC, asking about Trump's mental health. Who the hell is he surrounding himself with when this is what they're putting out? This is from White House. The deportation feeling, holding space for this. And they're, of course, playing the Wicked music. And then they're showing real clips of them handcuffing people, raiding them, chasing after people that are fleeing for their lives. And then they're branding this as the White House. Like nobody thinks this is okay. And if you do, I believe you have a deep set of problems in life and you think that this is going to solve them. I'm here to tell you it will not. It will not. And it's scary that this is happening. And again, none of it's going to make your Thanksgiving cheaper. So get back to me after Thursday when you celebrate Thanksgiving. Get your receipts out and let me know how it's looking for you. Scott Bessent, the treasurer worth $600 million, so he's real in tune with how much potatoes cost. He responded to the question about why they're now deciding to get rid of tariffs. Of course, the answer is because it's leading to inflation. Have a listen.
Well, and banana prices are up almost 7%. Coffee prices up nearly 19%. Isn't the fact that you're rolling back tariffs an admission that ultimately they do drive up prices for consumers?
Kristen, how much does your arm weigh?
That I do not know.
Exactly. But you know how much you weigh. You get on the scale every morning. Inflation is a composite number, and we look at everything. So we try to push down the things we can control. And as I said, that we are working on the energy prices are down.
So he goes in. So he asks Kristen Welker, how much does your arm weigh? That's his answer to Americans going broke. Hey, Scott Bessent, how much do Trump's balls weigh? Now that you've been gargling them for a year, we want to know. You know what I mean? Like what? And by the way, he's not a dumb guy. They know they're lying to you, right? They tariffed bananas and coffee, things that just don't come from the United States. You want to selectively tariff steel or a very specific thing? That's like a Democratic position. That's a radical thing to do, is tariffs. That's not what the Republican Party stood for, but the Republican Party has essentially had to abandon all of their principles because if they go against Trump, their dear leader, then there's folks like Marjorie Taylor Greene face the brunt of it. But rather than get picked off one at a time, they could have all just stood strong and said, no, that's not what we're standing for. But instead, everybody's looking to get their own deal out of it, and it's led to this chaos that we live in. That's the truth. I mean, is this what Republicans want? National Guard in every city and state? No, Republicans traditionally have always wanted states' rights. That's what they always bitch about. States' rights, small federal government. Well, under Trump's presidency, we've literally had more debt and deeper debt than ever before. I mean, this isn't stuff that is even you don't argue these things. These are just facts that exist. So it's wild out there. It's wild. But hey, that's what we're here for. Not to rile you up, but I want to let you guys know, whether in North Carolina, wherever the hell you are, we're here to fight. And that fight is happening right now. You know, I've been part of several communities that have really big voices that are continuing. They're coming on my channel. I'm going on theirs. We're doing a lot of work to get the voice out there so that we can fight for things that are going to make life better, more affordable, and save lives. This is a big deal. And I'm so appreciative of those that have stuck around, that understand whenever people want to get into, woke culture war talking points. I think Mamdani, Mayor-elect, the president of New York City, Mayor-elect Mamdani, I think he's really showing the path forward, which is stick to the economics, stick to things that we can really tangibly see a result in when we talk about the economy, and ways for the middle class to get some of that pie back after the ruling class has extracted. We all work 18 different jobs with our cell phone. We don't get paid 18 times as much. That's what it comes down to. And we're supposed to be okay with people like Scott Bezos. He's got a factory in every town, right? They're just polluting that. They're just zipping things around. I get it. We get, we can buy, whatever the hell we want and it shows up same day. I get it. We're lazy. We want things instantly. I understand. But then he gets to get all these profits and then pay millions of dollars to people running for office here in Tennessee, all for what? There's no such thing as a free lunch. That's the one thing I can tell you from economics, right? So when we stop accepting all the billionaires' money, maybe we'll start doing things that affect us, that help us. And I do think there's going to be a lot more pain that we're going to see in our country until it gets better. But I do think the people have had enough. From farmers to single moms, we want our money to come back to help us. And I appreciate you guys being here for the ride. We'll be back this afternoon. A lot of other content to get into, so stick around for that. We'll see you then. I'm Dave. This is The Rush.